Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Roxy and this is my first YouTube video. I decided to make a YouTube channel to document my experience of long COVID and all the chronic health conditions I have as a result of one COVID infection that I got 4 years ago. I've always wanted my own YouTube channel. I love YouTube and I love watching YouTube and I love learning a lot from YouTube. So I thought I'd make my own channel to give me some sort of purpose to all that I have gone through and all that I have survived. And I hope that it might help someone feel less alone in what they might be going through. I know there are a lot of people out there who have long COVID and lots of health issues as a result and who are struggling. And I hope that maybe if you come across this channel, it might help you feel less alone. And if you've come across this channel for other reasons and you don't actually have chronic health issues or long COVID, I hope maybe you learn something new, and I hope maybe it might help you see something from a different point of view. I know for me, especially at the start, when I got COVID, I was extremely isolated and I felt very, very alone in how I was feeling and what I was going through. And it felt at the time that I must be the only person in the entire world to be experiencing what I was. I didn't know at the time that my health symptoms were as a result of COVID. I now know there are lots of other people out there who are experiencing lots of health issues like myself. So I just hope that other people might feel less alone, because I know that being able to relate to other people really helps and it makes you feel less isolated, and to know that there are other people out there can really improve someone's mental health. So welcome if you've come across this channel. I hope it might help you. I also wanted to use my channel to talk about my experience of being a late diagnosed autistic adult. I spent 10 years in the mental health system, misdiagnosed with a mental illness that I didn't have, and I spent many of those years as an inpatient. I was correctly diagnosed with autism in the January of 2022, and it saved my life. And I'm really passionate about autistic women especially being correctly diagnosed, and even more so to be able to get autistic women and men and anybody else out of mental health hospitals, because they don't belong there. Unless they need to be there for mental health reasons, they do not belong in mental health hospitals. So I'm really passionate about talking about my experience of spending so long in the mental health system and the harm that has done to me, and how much my life could be different right now if I wasn't misdiagnosed and if my autism had been picked up on sooner. Because I know that I'm not alone in this. Sadly, there are lots of people out there who are in a similar position to me. And I know there are lots of other people out there who are talking about their late diagnosed autism. And it's brilliant, it's great. I think it's great finally there is some recognition for autism in women, especially. But I'm not sure how many people are talking enough about how there are now so many people who are stuck inside the mental health system and who are stuck inside mental health hospitals, and they haven't been recognised and they haven't been diagnosed as autistic, and instead they've been misdiagnosed with mental illnesses that they don't actually have. The medication that they're being given or that is being forced upon them, and the treatment and the therapies that they're being given isn't helping them because they don't have a mental illness. I wish I was able to get autistic people out of mental health hospitals who are being harmed. There are autistic people who have mental health issues who need to be in hospital for their own safety. But even then I feel like it should be for the minimum amount of time. Otherwise I think it can be extremely harmful. So I wanted to use my channel to talk about the reality of the mental health system and what my experience has been. I wish I had known when I was 18 years old, 17, 18 years old, when I first entered the mental health system, all that I know now. If I knew what I know now back then, I would never ever have gone to another appointment. So I guess I'm willing to talk about my symptoms and my experiences because it might just help one person. I wish I knew all that I know now, because it would have protected me from a lot of unnecessary distress and a lot of unnecessary trauma and a lot of unnecessary mistreatment. it would have saved 10 years of my life. And I just feel very sad that there are so many other people out there who are in a similar position to what I was in. I used to have a lot of goals and a lot of dreams, but that has been put on pause since I got long COVID. I have never given up hope that I will be able to achieve some of those goals, but realistically, I have come to accept that it's not going to happen immediately. But something that has never changed, one of my goals that has never changed, is I've always wanted to help other people with what I've gone through in life. And if it's just one person who benefits from my videos, if anyone comes across this channel, that is, then for me it's worth it. Because I would never want anyone to feel as bad as I have been feeling for most of my life, and especially in the last 10 years. I want to be able to turn my pain into purpose. I feel having purpose is really good for somebody's mental health. And when you're sick with long COVID, at least in my experience, and if you're sick with long COVID, where you're very alone and very isolated most of the time, and maybe you're not leaving your house very much, or maybe you're not leaving your bed very much, it can be hard on your mental health to lose all of the purpose you may have had before, and to lose all of the dreams you may have had before. So with the very little energy that I have, I want to use my time that I am well enough to sit up and well enough to talk somewhat. Ironically, as I was saying, with the very little energy that I have, and for the very brief moments in my days where I'm well enough to sit up and talk, and hopefully not have a seizure like I just did then, I think there was some seizure activity because my speech was going quite slow and my eyes were coming. Something changes in my eyes. I'm struggling to talk because I feel there's quite a lot of seizure activity going on. But I'm filming it anyway because I want people to see the reality of what can happen to someone when they get a virus. And COVID has impacted my brain a lot. I'm struggling to talk because this is what happens before I have a seizure. My speech is slightly improved and is less robotic than earlier in this video. My speech can improve a little bit after I have seizures, but I cluster. And so my speech will continue to change in speed and tone and volume. I'm going to continue filming this because this is my life. This is my reality. I'm struggling to speak. And this is very normal for me. But as I was saying, with the very little energy that I have, and in between all of my seizures and dystonia and tics, and issues with my speech and walking and brain fog, and memory problems, and everything else in between, I hope to be able to post once a week because I want to use the very little energy that I have to raise awareness and educate and to help people feel less alone. I want to create something useful with all that I have survived. I don't want to have survived for nothing. And if trying to make these videos gives me a tiny bit of purpose in life, then it's worth it to me. And I hope that it improves my own mental health as well. Because as much as I want to help other people, I also want to document this for my own self, if anyone is watching this. I've used my phone to document my symptoms for the past 3.5 years, purely because I wanted to show the neurologists when I saw them. As we all know, the waiting list can be extremely long, and it can be many years until you see a neurologist. And so I thought I'd start documenting the symptoms on my phone, so by the time I saw the neurologist, I would be able to show them the symptoms that I had been experiencing, because my symptoms were very, very, very rapidly changing and growing and growing each day. So I documented it all on my phone, or as much as I could. I didn't document everything. I wasn't able to, because I wasn't well enough to, obviously. But I tried to document what I could. But that footage has gone to waste, because in my experience so far at least, the neurologists have been very uninterested in my case. And so I want to share that footage with you, because I don't want the footage to go to waste, because I feel like it could really help someone feel less alone. And I feel like it can help educate people and raise awareness. So I hope I can post some of the footage in and amongst the videos as time goes on, to explain what I mean when I describe my symptoms. People often tell me that I talk too much. So I thought, well, actually, if you have a YouTube channel, talking too much is probably a good thing. So I hope that this channel is a safe space for me to talk about things that I'm interested in and things that I'm passionate about. So be prepared for lots of long form content. I used to be afraid to post anything online, and I still am afraid, a little bit. But then I thought to myself, actually I've spent my entire life living in fear. I've spent my entire life living in fear of everything around me and everyone around me, and living in fear of this entire world. And I thought, actually, I'm really tired of living in fear. I'm tired of feeling afraid and not doing things that I want to do because I'm scared. So I thought, actually, I don't mind making this channel. I don't mind using the internet, because I don't want to live in fear anymore. I'm tired. So I thought I'd try to make videos, even though I'm a massive technophobe and I don't know how to use technology, so this will be a challenge to myself. My need for purpose, to the pain that I've gone through, not just from COVID, but from my life experiences in the mental health system especially. My need for purpose to that is greater than my fear. So I'm going to try posting videos. And to be honest with you, I don't want to get to the end of my life, whenever that will be, and live with regret. I don't want to live with regret of feeling that I really wanted to use my life experiences to help other people feel less alone. I can't think. My brain is not working. This is what happens to me. I just can't think of words of what I was saying. Essentially, I don't want to live with regret. I don't want to look back on my life and feel like what I really wanted to do was to help other people and share my life story. But I didn't do it because I was afraid. I don't want to have that regret. So despite a little bit of fear, I'm going to do it anyway, or at least try to. I don't know if anyone's actually going to find this channel, but if you do, hello. So if long COVID and neurological symptoms and mental health and health in general and food interests you, then feel free to subscribe and like the video. Just like the YouTubers say, I hope to be able to post more videos and I hope to be able to post more content. But I'm going to stop filming now because I think I'm going to have a full-on seizure. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.